Fleeing Russians have now doubled in Georgia, as most of the Russians are now seeking asylum in the neighboring countries. Georgia is another country where people are fleeing. On a daily basis, there were approximately 3 to 4,000 people entering Georgia. Many have walked across the border, many have been cycling to cross the border, and many have come with their families. Some have come alone, some have come with their families. Situation is extremely bad, and President Putin is in no mood to stop. However, in the last couple of days, the number of asylum seekers in Georgia has now doubled. Approximately 10,000 people on a daily basis are crossing Georgia. With the partial mobilization being called by President Putin, the entire Russian country has gone into a turmoil. And do we wonder that President Putin did not know that this would happen? I'm sure he knew that something like this would happen. Russian economy has already been thrown into the doldrums, as they say, and this has been just because of the Ukraine war, and now the call for partial mobilization has further made the situation extremely critical. There have been stories where bordering areas are receiving heavy rains and people are crossing over the border with suitcases, with huge luggages. They are walking in the rain for hours to cross over just to escape the partial mobilization that is now taking place in Russia. In the coming days, we will see more countries helping the Russians into their countries. However, the Baltic nations of Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia and Poland have completely denied the entry of Russians. Foreign Minister of Poland has said that Russians should stay back in Russia and face the ire of Vladimir Putin. He also said that for the past 7 months, when there was so much of destruction in Ukraine, where were the Russians at that point of time? Why didn't they leave at that time? Why didn't they revolt? Why didn't they protest? Why are they protesting now? They are not going to open the borders for Russians, and they need to stay in Russia and face Vladimir Putin. All the 4 countries have denied any kind of entry of the Russians there. However, other countries of Europe are helping the Russians who have fled and have welcomed. Let's see how things change from here. I would call it as the situation getting extremely critical, though Russians are finding a place to live for the time being, but things are extremely bad in Russia now. Ukraine is in a terrible condition because of the war. So many people have died. And Russia is in a critical condition because people are fleeing. Situation there is no better than Ukraine. Stay updated with me.